Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Tavern podcast. I'm Rover, and I'm joined with my two beautiful co-hosts, Skyma and Bantamane. Would you like to introduce yourself,
Yeet.
guys?
Hello.
All right.
Alright.
Great introduction. Thank you, guys.
So
And
we
on
have
that
a
bombshell.
plethora. We have
a.
Go on.
I'm hosting. Ben.
Alright,
Thank you very
alright.
much.
Oh, what do you mean?
We have a we have a pretty unorganised show here for you today. Topics. What were you thinking about talking about? What are you thinking about talking about today?
Actually, I've got a really interesting topic to start off with, one that I haven't
I swear
discussed
to
with
God.
you.
I
So-
don't know if I trust Skyma because he keeps talking about topics I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, like
You say
So
topics,
rude.
you mean topic.
Topic, yeah.
So no, actually,
Just,
Right,
just
I
for
wanted
clarity
to-
with the audience, we literally thought of these topics 5 minutes before starting the podcast.
I wanted
but
to
yeah.
talk about like competitive video games and like
Okay, no, this
Oh.
is good. I like this. Alright,
So-
let's do this.
like as someone who's like actually started taking revision seriously now, like I say to myself, hey, work from like 9 o'clock, including lesson times, all the way up until like when I have my tea or dinner
Yeah,
time,
Same.
and like after then, the whole evening to yourself. You do whatever after then. So about 7:30 is like when I get on, because like after like tea's about 7 or something like that for me. So it's like a good solid amount of time there when I'm solidly working, and I'm like a 7-minute walk from my school anyway. So I lose barely any time going to school and whatnot. And I just feel like in the time which I've got, I don't really want to play competitive games anymore. And like, I mean, of course I want to play Siege, but I know how I am with Siege, and it's just like I'm going to be sucked into it. It's going to consume me if I play it like properly, because I want to play it well when I play it. But
Fact.
like, and I'm going to have to like, and the way that I do it is like I would play maybe like 3, 4, 5 hours a day sometimes, just like on a weekday, just like training or something like this. And it's an insane amount of time, but it like, it doesn't feel like that much when you do it. And it's crazy how much time you invest in that kind of stuff. But also I feel like when I play competitive games like Counter-Strike and Siege, you know, when I play them outside of like the competitive play style, I just don't feel good playing them, because like I'm not playing well. So I'm annoyed that I'm not playing well, but I know I don't have the time to play well, because I won't have like the effort or like the time in general to put into practice. So it's just like, like this isn't fun. So when I play, like I've recently taken to Battlefield 1 a little bit, because you can just drop in for like 40 minutes with like the basically rush. I forget what they call it, operations I think they call it, but it's basically rush. You just drop in for that, you play 40 minutes and you're like, I'm done, you know, I don't want to play any more of this. But it satisfies my FPS kind of rush in, kind of just
Get a few fries.
yeah, like my hunger, you know. But on the most part, that's not why I play games anymore, because like I don't really want to play like competitive games outside of competitiveness, because it just feels bad, you know, because you can't do these crazy peaks. My aim's terrible. And
It does, yeah. I 100% agree. Yeah.
Sounds you've got like... wow, that was English. It sounds like you've got an addiction. An addiction for being a sweaty nerd.
I would actually probably agree though, because like
Yeah.
I love like playing Siege. Like I trialed out for a team way back. I think I mentioned it on the first podcast. And after then I was like, no more Siege. No, I'm not doing this with my A levels, and I've not done it since. I'm proud of myself.
Oh, you little boy.
But like, it's definitely. I don't know if it's an addiction. It probably is, because but it's the very nature of the games though.
I don't think it's an addiction, as in like, because there's a certain definition for an addiction. I don't know the exact definition, but the fact that you were able to just put down Siege and said, no, I'm focused on something else. When you were playing Siege, you were still having showers, you were still eating, right? You were still doing your schoolwork. It wasn't hindering your life in a way that, in a physical way. Right?
Actually, the topic of addiction is quite loose. The fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance or activity.
What? You can't use addiction in the definition for addiction.
What does addiction mean?
That's
It means you're
basic
addicted.
English.
Ah,
No, to be
okay.
fair, when you look up like some stuff in, I forget I think like the definition for a person or something like this was like a human being or something like that. I can't remember. It was something like it was actually worse than that, but I don't remember the exact thing.
Yeah, a person, a human being regarded as an individual.
Yeah.
So a singular
Thank you.
human being. Alright, cool.
Anyway,
Yeah, so it sounds like what you've got is a lot of pent up rage for killing people that you need to satisfy through video games. And when you kill people, it's more of an art form than a sport to you.
I don't necessarily think that because like the thing which I like about the FPS style is it's almost like, okay, Siege is different, but like why I play Battlefield is because it's just such an easy game to jump into. You don't need that much skill to play it. You just run and gun, you know? It's just a bit of mindless switch off your brain, that kind of ness.
Yeah.
And I think after like a full day of working, I think after then it's just like, hang on, I don't want to use my brain anymore, you know? I just want to switch that shit off and just not so family friendly content there, but sorry for the
I'm
S drop.
actually.
It sounds like this topic is definitely a mood killer. With no offense, but I don't, you know what I mean. All right, just me.
Well,
Just you.
I kind of have like I thought I was the same as you, right? So
I thought I was Skymer.
no. I'd stopped playing Counter-Strike, right? And I'd stopped playing Rainbow as well. Since we did that match, Skymer, I haven't played Siege, and I haven't played CS. But I played a lot of Black Ops, right? It sort of turn your brain off, sort of just shoot people and get out, right?
Hmm.
And I played a lot of that, and that was on the Xbox as well. But I noticed that everything was kind of slipping, and I kind of lost my motivation for everything. Not like I was revising a lot and I was getting a lot of work done, but I could kind of see myself starting to slip into sort of, oh, I can't be arsed, or what's the point sort of thing.
Do you
And
mean
I
in
decided-
life or in games?
In life, I
Yeah.
wasn't playing that many games, and so, I didn't do this because of it, but I started, well, I don't know whether you guys know, but I'm going to Poland with my mate at the end of this month. We're gonna go and see the CS:GO major. We've booked this for ages.
Yeah.
Which is going to be an awesome experience. But I thought, like, well, I might as well start watching some pro games, sort of see catch up with everything. And so I started watching the minors and catching up, and it just was like, I want to go and play Counter-Strike again.
Yeah. I see what you
My
mean.
competitive itch hadn't been itched in so long. Right?
Scratched.
Like, scratched in so long. Whatever. Fuck off. I mean, family-friendly content off.
Oops.
Oopsies. But no, I hadn't done anything competitive in a while, and I kind of lost it, you know. I was like, I actually started to think that the reason why I played games wasn't because of the competitive nature,
Right.
but for something else. And I always thought I played them because of the competitive nature, which is the reason I never get around to finishing single player games. I never really enjoy myself while playing single player games. Some of them I'll enjoy, like Breath of the Wild I well enjoyed. They're mainly on my Switch that I enjoy though.
Yeah.
But if I'm not playing a competitive game, I don't feel like I'm enjoying myself as much.
I get that.
Okay.
I enjoy, like, to me there's an adrenaline rush, like when you pull
Oh
off, like,
yeah.
you know when
Great
you pull off
clutch.
that clutch situation.
Oh man.
That's what keeps me hooked with Siege. What kept me hooked with
I
Siege.
haven't had it in a
Yeah.
long time. That's a problem.
And
Like,
I really don't get that with anything else.
I had it once with Counter-Strike, once in my life, right? But with Siege, the first time I played Siege, like, I got hooked on that feeling. Like, your heartbeat increases, you get tunnel vision, you proper suck yourself into this moment. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, I can do that again. But again, you know, it's difficult.
It's difficult.
It is difficult, but like, I picked
Just
up
like
Counter-Strike
ASMR.
the other day, and we won 7 games in a row, and it was the best feeling in the world. And then the next day, I hopped on and we lost 3 games in a row. But for those 3 games, I was having the time of my life. They were all close. I dropped 30 to 40 kills each game.
I feel like I'm satisfied if it's a close game and I feel like I played well.
Yeah. I feel like if I don't feel like I'm playing well, then that's when I start getting annoyed.
Yeah, like
even
same
if
thing
we're
with
winning.
Siege. Same thing with Siege with me, because there have been times when I've been like carried and I'd be like, "Hey, we won," and I'd be like, I'd still be happy, right, because we won, and I'd feel like with Siege though, like if you're having a bad day, you just switch to droning. You know, you just drone people out, you give them intel.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things which I think makes Siege easy to jump into, is that aim is not the prime. Like with Counter-Strike, everything.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I have a lot to say about that. Aim is not involved.
Rover's probably gonna like say no. Aim is not everything. There's game sense and whatnot in.
Aim is nothing.
Yeah.
Aim is nothing.
No. In CS:GO, if you're having an off day on aim, then you're fucked.
Mate,
You are not doing anything.
Siege is just, which exploit can I do to get ahead of the game? It's man.
Yeah, the Siege community actually annoys me quite a lot, because like there's the new silent drop glitch, which I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I watched Pengu. I watched him like the other week, and I've kept up with some pro games.
Another one, damn it.
But I watched the game between G2 and that Russian team. I forget, Team Empire, I think it is. And I was watching that game and I was thinking, damn, I really miss this game. And this was like 27 days after I finished playing Siege, so like not long ago. And it was then, like, it had just been over a month, and I'm like, is this an addiction? Because at that point I was like, I really want to play this game again. I'm not sure if it's an addiction or not.
I don't think wanting to play something that you love so much is an addiction.
Is it though? Because a lot of people thoroughly enjoy stuff like cannabis, you know, but they know it's good for them to not have it. But like, say for example, something reminds them of the high or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, I have a lot to say on that.
I want to smoke again.
Like, the addicted, like, people say, oh yeah, cannabis is fine because it's not addictive. Thing is, if you have an addictive personality, although there's not a chemical addiction, there's a high addiction. And that's the same with games.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
There's that addiction to feeling good while playing games.
The adrenaline rush, you know?
Yeah.
But then people are addicted to sport as well.
There is a lot of... I think people throw around the term addiction too much. And I think addiction is a...
No, I don't necessarily think that. I think that addictions can be positive, though.
Okay, right.
To what point? No, to what point? Elaborate.
Yeah. To like a certain extent. If it's not like I forget what the thing is where like there's a formal thing where you can be diagnosed with like formal video game addiction. I remember when that came out, and it was something like if you choose to play a video game instead of like spending time with family or friends, I can't remember the exact term which they use, but it's basically saying on like somewhat regular basis, then you know you have a video game addiction and it's a formal diagnosis, and I don't know about that.
I saw the definition. I didn't agree with it. I think like they mentioned putting it over family time and stuff. To an extent, I agree. Yeah, there are some ways that people get.
But is it time based? Do you have an addiction on like based on?
I don't think so though, because professional players, not all of them are addicted to a game. They just want to get better. They have an aspiration, and it's at what point does an addiction become an aspiration, or are they the same thing? Because people can be addicted to work. They can work 20 hours a day and sleep for 4.
To be fair, you've got a point though, because like with me with Siege, it's like I want to get better. I want to improve my aim in Siege. I want to like improve my game sense. I want to improve like the way that I listen to sound, stuff like that. Rather than, and like I've not really played many games in the last 2 weeks. Like if you look at my Steam, like you look at my hours on Steam, I've had 20 hours, including like games like Uno and whatnot, and I played some Dirt Rally the other day because hey, it's just a bit of fun, you know. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 hours in 2 weeks is not like a super large amount. Like,
No, yeah. I know what you mean.
See, I always thought that I was.
most of it was,
I always thought that I was addicted to games, and a lot of people would say that I was, because I would willingly, go on games every day over doing anything else really. But that, to be honest, I can get out the house and I can go do something, and I won't have that craving to go off and play games. I'm perfectly happy doing other things. There's just nothing else to do that I enjoy as much.
Yeah.
When I was
Yeah,
younger,
I
I'm
agree
gonna be
with
honest
that.
here. Like, when you go away on like holiday, it would get to a point where I'd be like, nah,
No, I absolutely agree. I used to sit there in the swimming pool with my brother and speak about what we do when we get home and play games.
and it
Wow.
feels so disrespectful looking back, because like I think like my parents.
I thought it was disrespectful at the time.
Exactly. Like I was probably, I don't know. It depends when. Like when I was a little bit too young to understand.
when I
at
was
some
like,
points.
the thing is that when I was like 10 and 12, like 10 and 11, I didn't play games. I didn't get my first computer until I was 14, and I picked up Counter-Strike the next year.
Yeah,
So-
I was given a DS as my first sort of gaming. No, I had a Game Boy as long as I can remember. Really.
I had a DS and a Game Boy and stuff, but I didn't play them that much.
Oh, I played them all the time, and I think that's what got me into it. I really do. But then again, I've never been really good at socializing, so it's not really. I've never really
always been an
been.
awkward fuck.
See, I actually, going off topic a little bit, right? So I have this thing, right, where because, right, so I was bullied quite a lot as a kid, right? I was never a kid who could stand up for myself.
Yeah.
Until I started rugby and that lot, I never really had that, and it was mainly a lot of the comments made towards me were always like snarky comments made by like people in the back, because I was always quite a big kid, right? I was always tall. I was in year 2. I was about as tall as all of the year 6s.
Yeah.
So it was always comments nobody wanted me to hit. No, I know. I was extreme. Like I'm tall now, but I was extremely tall for a kid.
Yeah.
Weird little tangent. We'll come back to tangent of a tangent. When I was 2, right, I was in a pushchair. My mum was pushing me in a pushchair, and this random ass stranger came up to me. I was on holiday and said, "Don't you think he's a little bit too old for being in a pushchair?"
Fuck.
I was 2.
What do you mean, fat baby?
I know, but yeah, no. Back to the thing. And we had an assembly. I think I can't remember if it was an assembly or watching a YouTube video, or whether I just came to the realization. I can't remember. But I think I've always had trouble talking to people, like having small talk, because I feel like everybody's being snarky and sarcastic towards me, and everybody in some way is trying to make fun of me.
Right.
And I came to. I think it's obviously just me, right? Because not everybody's a complete dick, but I see people make the same comments towards my other friends, and they chat back, and then they have a laugh, and it's like, are all people trying to do is say hi? I would turn around in that situation and just not ignore them.
It depends on the people.
And
like in my friendship group at school, it depends which friendship group actually, because like I'm like that one misfit kid who just doesn't fit in with the other misfits. And he doesn't fit in with like the nerdy kids either. Just kind of interchangeably in between the two, and it's just it's weird, man. But
no,
Whereas,
I'm kind of the same. Yeah,
whereas I don't actually have any friends, so there you go. I actually have something that it's been a hell of a week for me and my temper, regards to so-called friends. Like,
anyway,
you know what? Maybe there's something. Sorry, maybe there's something to go for this whole thing that gamers don't have friends.
yeah, and
Maybe there's a little bit of truth behind it.
Like maybe that's what draws people to games. Like I don't know. Like there was this video that went around the internet a while ago about like this kid talking about how he got bullied on VR chat, not on VR.
oh, I saw that. That was
And like he's talking about how in video games people don't judge people on like their appearance or whatever else. They do judge people on their voice a little bit, but he was like, it just allows people to be themselves a little bit more.
Like,
and
the thing I'm finding is, in real life, if you're feeling lonely or like you haven't got any friends, what the hell do? You can't just walk up to someone in the street, be like, "Hi," you know. But
No,
on something like Discord, you can hop into a server with thousands of people, just start talking to people.
Yeah,
And it's like that's
I
what's
think,
great about
I
it.
think
The difference is though.
I think people really underestimate the online chat. I feel like the old generation really do like, oh well, they're not your real friends.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny, right? People I consider friends, they're not real friends. Like
No,
I've had a
I agree.
shit week where people have just been absolute snakes, and there's been no reason
Dude,
to
fucking
it.
tell me about it, man.
And like I've done nothing, and then it's just like, oh no, we're just gonna buoy you off every couple of minutes, and it's like literally today, right now, I should have been out having a drink with someone, but at 3:00 they turn around. Well, they didn't even turn around; they just stopped messaging me, and I was like, yo, are we on or what? Like, I need to know if I can have dinner or not. And so now it's got to the state where I haven't eaten, I'm starving, and they still aren't messaging me back, and it's just like, what a cunt thing to do. Like, there's no reason for that. And then they'll post something on their Snapchat story saying, they're at home watching TV, and I'm like, look, mate, I'm not being funny, right? But have a conscience, or have some sense of morality,
Yeah.
Like, I don't get people that do that. When you buoy someone off, you need to address why you've done that.
Well, to be fair, like, there's someone, I'm not gonna throw shade at them because, like on like online or whatever else, but there was someone who we spoke to on Discord a while back who would just be like, yeah, no, I'm coming on at this time, and then like never show up, and you'd be waiting for them, and like
See, even
3
on
hours
Discord,
later they still wouldn't be there,
Yeah.
and they just don't even message you. They like, you message them like maybe 2
Yeah.
days later, like, hey, what happened? Be like, oh, something happened, and be like, well, you could have at least said.
yeah, even online,
Sorry,
if I'm
it's
not
like-
able to play something, I message you, and I'm like, yeah, I can't
Exactly.
play it. Sorry about that, mate.
Don't
do
get me
something
wrong.
else.
Sometimes there are times where people can't get back. To
Oh no.
There
yeah.
are those times.
No, don't get me wrong,
But-
but like in those times,
But
you're
when
always...
it's consistent,
right, but even if it's like just by accident, it's consistent. You still like you actually apologize to them. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm so sorry. This thing came up. I really wish I could have told you sooner, but I couldn't. Type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even like that's the kind of thing which you have, but like, nah, some of these people just like 3 days later or something like that completely ignore you, and like you can see that they're doing stuff and whatever else as well.
Yeah,
It's just
like they post it on their story, on their Snapchat or something.
You're just like,
That's why I
cheers, mate.
hate social media. You can see exactly what everyone's doing.
I know.
And they get this sort of principle where it's like, I'm going to, I'm not going to message you because I don't want you to feel like, I don't know, I'm fucking rambling now. But,
See, this has happened to me recently. Is obviously none of my mates watch this, so it's not an issue for me. But I felt like really, really shitty recently, because I felt like my mates didn't like me at all anymore.
yeah,
I felt
you do
because
get that.
on Saturday, right? I look on a Snapchat story. There's 4 of us in our main group, right?
Yeah.
Them 3 have decided they'd all go round one of our mates' house, have a curry night, and play games all night.
Mm.
Just chill out. And I'm like, okay, didn't even have an invite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll sit there in lunch. We'll just all sit around. They'll all be having a chat. If I try and chime in on the conversation, it's like I'm not even there. Like they never make an attempt to involve me in the conversation.
Yeah.
And then eventually I thought, well, I don't want to be mates with these guys anymore.
Yeah. I mean, tangenting off is onto a topic that I wanted to talk about. Talking about it's related to people being fake, right? So I had this friend. We met up before Christmas, like a couple of weeks before Christmas. I was like, we met up, had a fine time. It was all good, and we're quite close, or we were. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll see you before Christmas. They don't. They're just like, oh, sorry, I'm always busy, or just don't reply. And I'm like, all right, fine. After Christmas, I was like, yo, are you busy? Like, do you want to meet up? And they're like, no, I've already got one girlfriend. I don't need another. You're cramping me with all this asking if we want to do stuff. I'm like, you told me you would. But, okay, all right. So I stopped talking to them. And the other day, last week, they messaged me like, yo, do you want to come to this seminar that my brother's hosting? And I was like, I guess,
Piss off.
sure, why not? You know? Yeah, I went to it, and I said, yeah, no problem. What's it about? And they were like, oh, I'll tell you tomorrow. And I was like, okay, no problem. And I messaged them again later in the day. I was like, any idea what it's about? Give me a hint, because bit sketchy. And it's like, no, I'll tell you tomorrow. I'm like, okay, all right. Tomorrow comes. They don't message me all day until the evening. They're just like, you're still coming, yeah? I was like, yeah, I guess so. So I come, and I think it's just going to be me and them going to this seminar that their brother's hosting. But no, she brings her girlfriend, and her girlfriend brings 2 friends. I asked the 2 friends, what are we here for? And they go, oh, we don't know. We weren't told. And I was like, okay, this is sounding a lot like a cult sacrifice or something. And,
you're being led to your
yeah,
death right
and we're
now.
walking along, and then we get to the thing, and this guy sits down. Like, there's a group of guys. It's like a company doing this seminar, and I'm like, all right, this is a bit sketchy. And she turns
it's an MLM.
and she turns around to me and she goes, yeah, so this is about trading. And I'm like, okay, trading sounds cool. She's like, yeah, basically, if I sign you up underneath me, I get all these perks and shit. And so I sat there and thought...
It is an MLM, I was joking.
And so I sat there and I
joking.
thought, right, so this sounds a lot like you've just brought me along to use me here. And then they started talking. They put on this soppy story about this guy who was homeless. He got into trading and he made loads of money, and then he's fine. And then they start talking about all the benefits of trading, and I'm like, can you tell us a bit of the negatives? Because I know a lot of negatives about trading. You're not saying anything here. It sounds like you're selling something. And then they go, and with our help, for just £200 a month, you can subscribe to this self-teaching service, which will teach you how to be good at global financial trading. I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's a fucking pyramid scheme. Right, that's great. I sat there for 2 hours out of respect to her brother. 2 fucking hours. And then I get up at the end, I'm like, nobody could, in the God's name, would be convinced to buy into that. And I turn around, I go to talk to the people I'm with, and I'm like, yo, were you convinced by that? And they all got their credit cards out, typing in their details.
Oh my fucking
God.
I'm sitting there like, no way.
I would I'm gonna be that guy, that fucking guy on the internet who just who always says, no, if I was there I would have done this, but like, seriously, if I was there I would have been like, this is fraud, and like,
yeah, it's illegal.
It is so illegal. I probably would have just stood up and I'm being like, I'm gonna call the police. But the thing is, the people talking about it don't even know that it's fraud half the time.
He goes, this isn't a pyramid scheme because we're offering a teaching service. I was like, no, it's still definitely
pyramid scheme.
And I think the reason they were getting away with it is because the pyramid part is an optional bonus where you get discounted depending how many people you invite to this.
No, you can't get away with it like that anymore.
And
you used to be able to.
It's
but no,
multi-tier selling is what it is.
It's an MLM.
And I was sitting there and I'm like, okay. And I turned to my friend, I'm like, so you've brought me here so you can use me to get discount on your thing. And after months of you telling me to back off because you felt like I was cramping you, that's fucked. And I walked out. And then I said to some of the other people we were there, and I was like, look, do you have a driver's license? And they're like, yeah, obviously. I was like, okay, you paid a driving instructor to teach you how to drive, right? Are you a Formula 1 driver? And they went, no, what's that got to do with anything? I was like, that's exactly what they're selling you. They're selling you a driver's license, expecting you to then go off and be a Formula 1 driver. And then they just went,
that's a really good...
I know. And I was just like,
that's
got to change some minds. And then I messaged, afterwards, I thought, I'm just going to be nice to my friend. I'm going to message them. And before I left, they went, all right, we'll meet up some other time. Yeah, I was like, okay, fine. And before I left, I messaged them. And I was like, look, don't pay into this. Don't waste your money. It's stupid. You can teach yourself online for free. And there's so many things that you don't know about this. You haven't done research. You're not very bright. No offense to you, but you're not the smartest tool in the shed.
Yeah.
Smartest tool in the shed? Okay. Anyway,
yeah, carry on. Carry on.
And then, so I messaged them today, and I was just like, yo, do you want to do something next week? Ignored. I'm just like, right, that's it. I'm done with that. No way. People are just cunts, really, in general.
Well, here at the Tavern Discord, you're always...
Yeah, everyone's always welcome in the tavern.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Only a few of us are complete cunts. The rest of us are alright.
Yeah. Unless you're Mexican, then you stay the other side of the wall.
Oh
no!
And we're off the air in basically every country.
God damn it! He's gone and done it.
I know. That's why my name's
Man,
Phantomain. I'm back
It's like-
again with some racial shit.
It's like we were going to be like the first time ever that a podcast has gone without going into some political
damn
stuff,
it.
but no.
God damn it.
I've actually got like a little bit of a, I don't know, confession, I guess.
Oh god,
Um,
All right.
you didn't
dude,
fuck the
yeah.
cat again, did you?
Dude, nah, not this time. It's worse.
All right. Oh, what? Was it the tranny?
Oh nah. But no. So do you guys know what that nerdy shit called D&D is?
Oh yeah, yeah. My friend wanted me.
Not a massive
My friend.
fan,
I keep
but,
using
you
the
know.
word friend. All right, my person that I used to know wanted to get me into it.
Associate. So yeah, like
Associate.
some people I knew were like trying to get me into it for some time, right?
Yeah.
And like I kind of decided, hey, it's on a Friday night after school, like, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be like the most nerdy stuff ever, and it is. It is the worst, most nerdy stuff ever. But it's not actually that bad. Like, I actually thoroughly enjoy it, but
Nothing wrong
it
with
depends
that.
on the people that you got. But
He's a nerd.
100%, man, 100%. I'm not even smart. Oof. It's like the worst type. But no, like,
He's a bad
like
nerd.
back in November though, like I was going through some tough times with like some family and like
Yeah,
other stuff
yeah.
and all of that stuff going the way, and I thought, you know what, I want to do something to like distract and my friend was like, you know what, just come after school sometime, you know, just drop in and you don't even have to play, just watch it, you know, and just listen to
Yeah.
stuff, and it's for 2 hours, and I thought, oh god, 2 hours on a Friday night, you know, from 4 until 6, like that's a good part of your evening gone. And I'm like, that's a lot of time. I don't really know if I can commit to that. And I went along anyway, and I was like, this is probably going to be terrible. And I knew everyone there. They're okay people. Some of them a bit iffy, others of them alright, but for the most part, alright people. Not that snaky, bit autistic, but what can you do?
Oh,
And
nah, can.
and like I just ended up playing, and it's basically just, I don't know, do you guys know what like D&D actually is?
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
You guys know? Yeah, so like I thought it was gonna be terrible, but like I actually went along and I did my Bojo voice, you know.
No, I've never heard of that in my
No
life.
idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Boris Johnson. So I was just, you know, trying to be like an
Oh,
ex-Oxford
okay,
student.
okay.
Politics.
And I was having the time of my life, because like it's just me and this guy just acting out this scene, doing like, it's like the most funny thing, because you can say basically whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, and it's just like,
See, I act out different types of scenes with my friends.
okay. But like I just ended up being like,
Penguins of Madagascar scenes. My favourite films. Kowalski analysis.
oh no. I ended up just being a politician though. Like I literally just became a politician. And like, I don't know, it's a good bit of a laugh. Like, I don't know, like I've actually been enjoying it, and I'm surprised, because I thought like they always used to be like, hey, come along on Friday. I'm like, fucking nerds, no. But now I'm like coming around to it, and I'm like, it's kind of actually okay.
I respect that. Like, I like giving things a try, right? I know I wouldn't be into Dungeons and Dragons because
I know you wouldn't either.
don't like board games. It's not my kind of thing.
It's
I've
not a
tried
board
games like that before. It is a board game. let's
It's
be honest.
not a board game. There is no
It's a
board
board game,
involved.
let's
It's a
be honest.
map
It's a dice
questing
game.
It's a tabletop game then. Whatever. You know what I mean.
The only
is a
thing that you
tabletop
have
game.
is you just have your little.
I know you have your dice, you
and
have
that's
your
it.
you have your book, and like you can go through the stories.
No, I
and
don't even
stuff.
care about the book. Just homebrew it. You know, come up with it all on the spot,
Yeah.
and just like make it all
understand
up.
that.
That's like.
I'm
the
not
most fun.
I'm not into fiction.
I know
alright?
you're not, and I know that's why you wouldn't
Yeah.
like it.
I see. That's the thing. If I got into it, I reckon I'd like it, and that's the worst part. Because I'm sort of all about that fantasy thing, like with my book and shit. And I feel like if I
Yeah.
started playing this, like my friend was like, "Oh, I come play," and I was like, at first I was like, "Oh, it's that stigma, you know, all these like sweaty, greasy nerds."
Yeah.
And then I was like looking
And
at
then you
him,
got there,
and
and
I.
it was a bunch of sweaty.
Well, no,
greasy
and I
nerds.
was looking at him and I was thinking, he's not really the stereotypical person to play this kind of thing, so maybe they're all like that. And I was thinking I could, and then I thought, no, I'm gonna get way too into
You
this.
see, like I started speaking to my sister about it, and my sister lives up in like the Midlands, so I'm not going to say exactly where, but
Yeah, he was
up
in
up in the
Lincolnshire.
Midlands, and so like, and then she was at like a university there, and one of the very many universities in the Midlands. And,
One of them.
No, two of them actually.
Ah,
Imagine
sneaky.
that. No. And so she was like, no, like a bunch of my friends like play D&D and stuff, and I was like, oh really? And she was like, yeah, no, like come down sometime and you can play with them. And I was like, oh okay, like that's pretty cool. And I was just honestly surprised.
I won't tell Elise, don't worry.
But I was like
He
actually
got my
surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of stigma behind it. It's got so associated with nerd culture, but I reckon it could be quite good fun.
Thing is, though, it's in the same sort of way that gaming has.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except the
Gaming's more
difference is, though,
mainstream
is
now.
that it's more mainstream, yeah. So gaming's kind of took on that different mainstream, but it again still has
Well,
that,
I mean,
like, nerd
one of the most
culture
popular
effect to it.
games, Skyrim, is literally a role-playing game. Literally, it's the video game equivalent of a very loosely based D&D, without the element of chance and without any actual role-playing. But Oblivion was good.
Skyrim was a
I want to
shocking
know.
game.
Skyrim was good at the time. I look back at it now and I think
Ish.
it's not really an RPG. There's not really a lot of role-playing in
I
it.
can't
I love
play
it, don't get me wrong, but
I can't play it. I just can't play it anymore.
yeah.
It's lost all charm.
Yeah, I've played it too much. I wanted to play Oblivion again, but Oblivion will suck me in, and it will not release me. Like, I will be playing Oblivion for hours and hours, just because
I'll
I
show you
love that
something
game
else,
so
like, sure.
much. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ew.
Yeah, Oblivion's a nightmare for me. I just can't get out of it if I get sucked into that hole. And then there's mods. Oh, the mods! I broke the game so many times with mods and had to restart. I wasted hours. That has to be my most played game, but it's not on Steam because I didn't have it on Steam. I had it on what was it called? PC CD game. I've literally got it on my shelf up there. It's called PC CD, and
Dude, what you just said sounds like one of those video titles. My most played game, but it's not on Steam.
yeah.
Sounds like the beginning of a meme title.
I was trying to get my most played game to Lucy's Got Problems, which is like a hentai roleplay.
See, I'd be really impressed if I managed to do that because
I
of
need
my hours on-
800 hours. Yeah, what do you mean?
See, I have 1,600 almost in CS.
I have no life, dude.
I have 500 hours alone in the SDK
My
developer. For
my
map.
Steam account
Which-
is worth.
Segue. Hold on.
Oh.
CS:GO map. I made one.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna try it
Ooh.
after this podcast. We're gonna go try his.
Yeah, we're all gonna jump in.
Should we
and
live
we're gonna
stream
play
it? Oh, that could be fun.
mate.
Yeah, I'm live streaming.
You-
I said I was live
You
streaming
can do if
tonight.
you want.
So
You can do if you want.
Cool.
I gotta get
Yeah,
up tomorrow. I'm so pissed off. I don't want to get up tomorrow.
Oh, nah, I can.
Nah, like I gotta get up at I gotta be out at like 8:30. So I'm just
Boy.
like, nah, that's not my Saturday morning.
Boys,
Not my hashtag. Not my Saturday morning.
Hashtag not my morning. Hashtag not my morning.
Boys, I just looked at how much my Steam account is worth. It's worth more than my car and my PC put together.
How much is it worth?
It's
How much is
worth
it worth?
$2,000.
That's fucked.
Actually, no, my PC's
Yeah, but
probably worth
anyway,
about
so-
$2,000. But yeah, go on.
So, this isn't my first map I've ever made. The first one was called DE Flood.
DE flood. What's DE?
Yeah,
Digital
Diffusal.
Extreme. Ah.
diffusal.
Diffuser.
Diffusal.
Diffusal.
game mode.
DE. Diffusal.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that one?
What? No, DE stands for diffuse.
DE stands for defuse. Oh, defuse, not diffuse. Got it right.
The fuck are you on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it the game mode? The game mode diffuse.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. And then Flood was the original name, but there was no floods on the map. But whatever.
Call yourself a
but
developer.
it was a it
was
was a
the code
really
name.
bad map.
Yeah.
Skymo, I think you helped me playtest it, right?
Yeah.
Sky? because you were into CS back then.
I didn't.
It was
even
it
know
was
that.
a really fun map. All right, personally, it was just really bad. It was ugly as
Alright,
hell.
No need to blow your own trumpet.
It was just
It was
shit.
ugly as hell. It played like crap. Everything, all of the walls were wall bangable with everything. 'Cause they were
Oi,
like 2
nah,
meters
that's
thick.
so funny though. Can
Yeah.
you imagine?
The rotates took so long. There was like broken bits everywhere. None of the textures worked right. It was awful, but it was so much fun because it was like my thing that I'd made.
Yeah, I get that.
But then after that, I actually lost the files to that because my PC was going through a time where I'd have to keep resetting it
Yeah,
because it kept blue screening. I didn't know why. It was actually my RAM's problem.
dude.
But one of these times, it blue screened and it deleted all of my work because it had been open at the time.
Yeah. Imagine
But
imagine something like Mirage being completely bangable. You could just sit in spawn with a
I'd
negative.
bang Mirage anyway.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
bang Mirage
Absolutely.
anyway.
You guys were into some weird stuff.
Oh man, I love bangable maps in CS:GO. What do you mean? Shadbase, hit me up.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we want to talk about that, Pants?
Shadbase is a good website. One of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Do you want to keep that to yourself?
It makes me feel like I have friends.
You have
What's
us.
this?
I have my sick.
You don't
anime
want to
girls.
know, Rover. Please, just stay ignorant, please.
You don't know what
It's
Shadbase
actually-
is.
What is it?
Oh, I'm gonna send you a
What is
link.
this?
Hang on.
Basically,
What is it? What is it?
Basically, it's
Nah. I'm gonna send him a link. Go on incognito mode. Thing.
Oh god.
Oh, Shadman. Mr. Shadman.
Oh,
Oh, the
no.
front page. What do you mean, the front page? Alright,
No,
Rover, look at
you
this.
can't do this to him. No,
Alright.
no.
The
Oh,
front page
no.
is brilliant today. Skyver, have you seen the front page?
I can't see it because I got
Boy.
Oh, I see. Oh. I can't see it because I can't like actually go onto it. I can't go onto it because of fucking family settings or whatever it's called.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's so
Nah.
good, dude.
I don't even know what it is, but I don't want to
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
we were talking about addiction. How about a Shadbase addiction?
Dude, you actually have a
addiction.
problem. You actually have a problem.
Oh, nah. Oh, it's so funny, dude.
You know what's
I love
sad
it.
is when you look at your Steam account and you're like, oh, the average price per hour is $6.62. Oof, that's not good value.
Oh. But
Wait, is Discord cucking
And
you
this
over?
is-
no, hello,
Ban.
I'm here.
that's,
I can't
that's
hear Ban.
weird.
Can you hear Ban?
I'm on
No,
the other
Ban's coming
side. I'm gone. I'm in the
Ban's-
netherworld.
Ban's gone.
Preparate. Oh.
Oh man,
Oh no, but like $6.62 is nothing.
I'm the disposable one in the group.
Absolutely nothing.
How much is that in British? Get disappointed with your life. Oof.
Wink, wink.
Oh my god, you came back. You came back for that.
Sorry, I was reading out the
£4.
chat face.
Nearly £5 per hour. What?
What's this?
I was reading
that's
out the chat face thing.
That's the average price per hour for a game.
Oh, thump, thump, thump.
Blop, 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 blop.
Wait, I'm gonna find Rovers.
Oh nah,
I'm
but
gonna find out.
what were my other topics? I didn't write them down, so I kind of forgot them.
Rover, you uploaded. What is this? Wait, you didn't
What?
upload. You didn't upload. I uploaded.
No,
you
I-
didn't. What?
Yeah, what are you on about? I can't-
What?
The roles are reversed.
Oh no, my microphone just fell down.
Yeah, so basically, I tried to record, and then it didn't. it didn't work.
It just didn't
Didn't
work.
work.
So you
How
did like
so?
an
It
hour of
didn't
recording,
work.
it just didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah. So, dude, I've just noticed my CS:GO frag montage is on 301 views,
That's more than
and that would
mine.
only mean one thing: it's actually on like 1 million views, and YouTube's just not showing us, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that's how
That-
it works.
That's what it means, right? That's what it means, right?
Sure.
That's what it used to mean.
Look, if you've blown up, I'll be very jealous. I'll probably steal your account or something. I don't know.
I already have blown up.
Oh.
Dude, have you not seen my video with 850,000 views?
No, I haven't actually, because you've
Rover, you'll
archived
never
it.
believe this.
I have archived it. Yeah, you're right.
You'll never believe this, but I have more hours on Steam than you.
To
be fair, I
measuring
haven't
competition.
I've got a
game.
substantial amount of more.
How many
Jesus.
more hours?
You're 3,300. I'm 3,750.
All right. So I've put 600 hours into Black Ops 3 on the Xbox One,
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
and I put 100 hours into Breath of the Wild on the Switch.
Okay. It's not a.
I've also put in 60 hours on Odyssey and 40
I was just
hours
surprised
into
because of how many hours you have on Cisco.
Cisco.
yeah. Wait, hold on. Does that take into account my hours on the Source developer?
Does that
Because it doesn't
count as a?
It doesn't on
game?
games. No, it's a tool.
No idea then.
Because that's 500 hours alone. No, it must do, because I've not got 3,300 hours on all my games combined.
Probably.
think.
Yeah. Anyway,
CS is one... Yeah, whatever.
so you didn't upload.
Enough
Okay.
talk about addiction.
Ah, dick.
I thought the video just got deleted.
The video just went.
The video got deleted. How did this happen?
The video is gone.
And how did it happen, Rover?
I don't want to talk
Ah.
about it, alright.
Just
Well,
like
I
just like
uploaded.
how we've got 2 missing podcast episodes.
Oh, well, good news, lads. Good news. I uploaded my last ever video until June, probably August by the time I actually upload it.
What do you mean?
I've got a video planned out for then.
I can't, Skyma. I can't go that long without seeing your beautiful videos.
Your videos are very pretty.
Thank you very much. This is like the most fulfilling conversation I've ever had.
They're also very gay.
That's
Aw.
so true, man. That's what I strive for.
And I ruined it.
Nah, legit though. Did I tell the story about how this Never mind. I won't talk about it on screen on this on podcast. You know.
I don't know. Did
I'll
we?
say it some other time. Anyway.
No, I wasn't aware actually, Skyma. Do you want to go into it?
No, I'm actually okay.
Oh!
I'll talk
I
about
think
it
you
some
do want to
other
go
time.
into it.
I'm okay right now. I'll talk about it some other
Oh!
time.
Oh!
I probably
no,
can
no,
talk
no,
about
I
it
think-
because everyone
No,
knows,
only
but I
joking,
think
mate.
it's like respectful if I don't, you know.
I know.
Source.
Of course, that's why I'm doing it. But no, like I actually uploaded, which is something quite rare for me.
Impressive.
Yeah.
The video came out last Sunday. This Sunday.
Sure.
I don't know. Is Sunday the start of the week or the end of the week? Oh,
Sunday
I'd
is the
say it's
start.
the
No,
end.
end.
Sunday's
Sorry,
the
I'm not on
end,
the
yeah.
end though.
because like
yeah.
some people are like, "Hey, Sunday's the start of the week," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. So is it this Sunday or is it last Sunday?"
No.
In retail, it's the start of the week.
Well, I'm just gonna go off retail then and say, "Hey, it came out this Sunday
Cool.
and it's Friday." How does
But
that
this
work?
podcast won't be uploaded for like 2 weeks, so
Yes.
There's
If you
that
haven't watched
problem.
The video though, go check it out.
To
It didn't really
the
get
the
that
current
much.
the current date is the 1st of February. We should start off our podcast with saying we recorded this on whatever date.
So it just makes me feel bad for not uploading it.
yeah, we're still
Yeah.
missing the Luco
like-
podcast.
Well, the good thing about I just need to upload it like
Yeah,
sometime.
yeah,
Not tonight,
sure.
tomorrow probably.
Yeah.
But the good thing is now that I've finished editing that video. It took me so many hours to edit that video. It's just like less than 3 minutes. It took me like maybe even 40 hours to edit that.
40
stuff.
hours, no way, dude.
What video is
Okay,
this?
maybe not 40, but you know, like the effect in the background, right? I learned how to do that. Like
Well,
that's from Plexus
oh.
and using the Plexus effect. You know, like when it like all goes together and stuff. Like that's all done by me. Like dude,
Oh,
this.
by the way, Scum, I have a question to ask.
Yes.
Would you be willing to help me set up a stream at some point?
Oh, of course, anytime.
So I've got my channel artwork that I want to use now, and I was trying.
You
to
heard
set
it
up
here
stream
first,
labs.
lads. Rover is on stream. By the time this
I
video,
want to.
by the time this video is out,
By the time this video gets released, I will have a stream.
go check him out.
so I have about a year. So
Yeah, exactly. see you February 1st, 2020.
See you February 1st.
Oh no.
Dude, I completely forgotten my topics, man.
No, you
Well,
spoke
I
about the
think-
pyramid scheme. You spoke about why you're not out.
Fake
all that
friends,
stuff.
yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm really surprised that I uploaded. But you know what me uploading means?
Means you're never going to upload again?
Means I can upload to the Tavern podcast. But hang on. hang on. I need to upload again because we're gonna do the trailer.
Yes,
soon
we
for
need
the-
to do a trailer.
Are we gonna do one that's like one cohesive thing?
Are we gonna have some like?
Or are we gonna
some
do it personal?
like the where it goes? Bois.
I was gonna go just like a little
On a YouTube channel.
I was just gonna be like, "Hey, you!"
Maybe we,
Yes, you.
Maybe we should all do individual ones.
No, not you.
Maybe,
the other you.
Maybe we should just let our creativity flow and just do individual ones for our
Yeah,
channel.
I was
make
thinking.
a big thing out of
Yeah,
it.
do it
That works.
individually.
I like that.
Or we could do it here, and we could just like say one word each. Just be like, "Hey."
Should we? Should we actually do that?
Shall we do it now?
No, what we do?
Yeah, we will
And
do it like
we
right
could just
now on
clip it or
podcast.
something. Yeah.
No,
Right,
yeah.
Go on then.
All right. Okay. So.
Right, you start Skyman.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You start
fine.
Skyman.
Hello.
Who's next?
There we go. That's it, boys. That's it. That's
Okay,
it.
all right,
One
we're going
cut-
down, are we? So
one-
it goes Skyman, me,
one-
Rover, Skyman, me, Rover.
One take.
All right, okay. Skyman, me, Rover, Skyman, me, Rover, yeah?
Okay.
All right, Skyman, start.
Hello.
You.
Gay.
Okay.
And
We have... No, we...
Oh.
super.
A recording.
You have the opportunity. No.
I thought.
So far, yeah. Hey, you're gay. Super recording.
Yeah, Rover, it's your turn. Isn't it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's so bad. I think maybe we should make something a bit more cohesive. You know.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That was a good laugh though for
That
the,
was a bit of
the
banter.
podcast.
Bit of banter.
That is what people want to see on the podcast. They don't
So-
want to see all
yeah.
this deep woke shit.
Sorry, I just dude, I just farted and I saw a spike in my microphone thing. That's gonna be in the podcast. What do you mean?
What do you
That's gonna be the
mean?
title of the podcast.
I want a timestamp to when I fart.
No, I was just
What
gonna
do
say.
you actually
ban-
mean?
Oh, you know how Top Gear used to do like tonight. You know, we should do
Yeah.
something like that on the podcast.
Tonight.
Or maybe we
Ban
should. We should
farts.
maybe I should do that as because that's something which I can do quite easily. I could do something like that. Put it up on a Discord thing and just send it like for
30
service,
second long,
self-promo.
just like yeah, that could be cool.
What?
Yeah, just like
ban
take
farts.
stuff out of context and just be like,
You're taking it out of
dude,
context.
have you seen the non-stamp collector actually uploaded it again? First time in
I
years.
totally know who that
It's
is.
the guy who made the video.
That
That
video.
You're talking about Rover.
Yeah.
I'm a fake fan. Fake fan. Hashtag fake fan.
Hashtag not a real fan. Hashtag not my fan.
Hashtag not my fan.
Oh, you know the ASDF movies were in the Emoji Movie.
Asdef.
Okay.
Were they?
Okay. Thanks for the support, guys. Fake friends. What do you mean?
It's not ASDF. It's Asdef.
I actually didn't. I actually didn't know about.
No,
the
they were. They
emoji
were.
movie.
The ASDF were in the Emoji Movie, blockbuster film of 2006.
The one that failed miserably.
Ah, no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say more has yet
what
to
do you mean?
succeed.
It's my favourite film of all time. Has yet to-
It's like
Yeah,
that
sounds
film,
about right.
The Room. You know, I did not hit her. I did not.
I did
That
not.
film has become like a cult classic, even though it was absolute
Yeah.
wank at the cinema.
Yeah, the difference is though is that it's funny.
Oh yeah.
The Emoji Movie's just
I
depressing.
did not hit her. I did not.
I did not.
You're tearing me
You're tearing me
apart,
apart,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? Oh.
What do you mean? Do.
No.
do.
Why don't?
We're not
Okay,
doing
next
this.
topic. Why don't females like me?
Oh,
I think that's
we had
pretty
such
obvious.
a good topic.
What do
Remember,
you forget it?
Ban? Remember when we? No, we can't do it now. It's too late.
What was
this is
it?
a big meaty topic. I can't say it until next podcast.
Well,
now.
well, we could do it as a teaser
on that,
for next
on that
podcast.
amazing disappointment.
No,
I
we
think
could
it's
do it as a
time to end the
teaser
podcast.
to like get people to listen to the next podcast.
When we're talking about like femalians.
Cliffhangers.
What the
Meow.
fuck are you on about?
Femalians, you know.
And on that
video games.
massive disappointment.
Femalians.
It's
in
time to
video
end the
games.
show.
I have no idea what Skymer's talking about right now.
Like female content creators and whatnot. Did we talk about
We
this in the
never
podcast?
spoke about this.
Dude,
Well,
we
I
so
never
did.
spoke about this.
We so did, man. You were talking about squirrel and everything, man.
Oh,
And
okay.
that
I
Scottish
mean, for
woman
me that's a
and,
minor
like, everything
topic,
like
but yeah, okay, all right, fair
Dude,
enough.
that's a big meaty chunk of a topic right there.
I don't know.
You just turned into
We'll talk
Joe
about it
then.
next time, you know. I mean, we do have
And-
like 5 minutes. We could rant about the
That's
wall.
amazing disappointment. It's time to cut him
right.
short.
No! Yes. God
Cut.
damn it! Go! Finish! Cut! Cut! Cut!
Counter. Is there anything?
No, Jerusalem has a wall. No, okay. Anything to talk about, Bantermain?
Have you
I'm
got
very,
any upcoming videos that you want to tease at the end here?
I have my
Where have
Christmas
you got any
special
upcoming
coming out
I was going to have one
next
What are
Wednesday.
you going to do
Okay, so it'll be last Wednesday by the time this is uploaded. My Christmas special would have come out.
Fuck you. I'm gonna like
Very
go away and edit
Christmassy.
this.
Nah, so
Oh nah.
it's called
Oh,
A Siege
nah.
Christmas,
Oh, nah.
and then the following week is my Valentine's special.
Dude, fuck Valentine's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a bit of an ooh-woo one, you know.
Oh no. Oh dear lord. What?
Ew.
Oh no.
And on that terrible disappointment, we're actually going to end now.
Nothing wrong with furries.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Good. Good.